Hello, my name is Tim Cotton, and I am the CEO of Novaphos. Novaphos is dedicated to making phosphates better, more efficiently, more sustainably, more locally, and higher quality. Phosphates are one of the most important materials on the planet, but our phosphate resources are limited, and current production methods are wasteful and inefficient. Novaphos can do it better. We have worked hard for over a decade to develop our technologies to improve phosphate production. This effort has allowed us to build a strong portfolio of intellectual property, and we are now moving to commercialize our technology in the United States and around the world. A key part of Novaphos' strategy is partnerships: technical, operating, commercial, and financial. We are excited to collaborate with like-minded partners to build a better phosphate industry. Novaphos is focused on phosphates because phosphates are critically important. Phosphates are essential for life. All animals and plants use phosphate in fundamental biological processes. Most of the food we grow and eat needs phosphate, and there is no possible substitute. Phosphates are also important to the energy transition in the form of LFP battery cathodes and in most battery electrolytes. We cannot afford to waste such a precious resource. Our current technologies for producing phosphates suffer from major problems: vast quantities of wastes and inefficient use of our vital and limited phosphate resources. Problems like these have caused U.S. production of phosphates to shrink over the last few decades, moving the U.S. from the world's largest producer to being a net importer. At the same time, phosphate production has become increasingly concentrated in just a few countries, increasing global dependency on a small group of exporters. The dominant incumbent technology for making phosphates is the wet acid process, which was invented about 100 years ago. This process requires large, high-quality phosphate rock inputs, which in turn mean a lot of mine tailings and wasted phosphate rock mineral resources. The wet acid process produces 5 times as much phosphogypsum waste as it does phosphate. Acidic and radioactive, phosphogypsum is a major disposal issue for the incumbent phosphate industry, which is still generating 50 tons each minute in Florida alone. The wet acid process is best suited to making low-quality solid phosphate fertilizers. These solid fertilizers are the least efficient form for farmers to apply, promoting loss of phosphate into the environment through erosion, runoff, and leaching. This lost phosphate is a major driver of harmful aquatic algal blooms. Novaphos has 2 processes to make phosphates better. First, low waste production of high-quality phosphoric acid without using sulfuric acid or generating phosphogypsum. And second, reprocessing of phosphogypsum to help incumbent wet acid producers become more circular. Our production technologies are efficient and sustainable, consuming waste products as a raw material and avoiding the generation of new wastes. The efficiency of the Novaphos process delivers more than sustainability benefits. It also creates a powerful economic business model. The Novaphos phosphoric acid process takes low-quality phosphate rock, even phosphate mine tailings, and converts it through a proprietary process into high-quality phosphoric acid. The Novaphos phosphoric acid process does not produce phosphogypsum. Rather, it produces a safe and useful co-product we call J-ROCks. Our second technology can reprocess phosphogypsum from existing wet acid producers. The resulting sulfur gases can be recirculated back into sulfuric acid, which is an essential input for the wet acid process. This technology also produces J-ROCks as a co-product, creating an additional revenue stream to support its value proposition. The Novaphos technologies are good for the environment and good business. Increased efficiencies and less waste mean less cost and higher returns on capital. After years of hard work to develop our technologies, Novaphos is now ready to bring them to market. We are focused on building our first phosphoric acid plant to be located in the U.S. As we roll out our technologies, we will be fundamentally changing how phosphates are made. The market opportunity is large, with global phosphoric acid market expected to exceed $50 billion in the next year or so. Novaphos has a four-part strategy for growth: commercialization, plant expansion, strategic partnerships, and intellectual property. Our most important commercial product is phosphoric acid, which is the building block for almost all phosphate fertilizers and other products like LFP. Our other products, J-ROCs and sulfur gases, have multiple uses. Novaphos phosphoric acid is low in impurities, which makes it more suited for high-value applications like liquid and soluble fertilizers and LFP lithium-ion batteries. Liquid fertilizers are better for the environment, helping to minimize loss of phosphates into the environment through more precise and controlled application. J-ROCs are a calcium silicate coproduct from both of our processes. A large application for J-ROCs is construction, replacing cement and specialized aggregates in high-performance concrete mixes. J-ROCs can also act as a fertilizer to provide plant-available silicon, an essential and hard-to-source micronutrient. The sulfur gases that result from reprocessing phosphogypsum can be converted into sulfuric acid for reuse in the wet acid process or other industrial processes. This can introduce circularity into the use of sulfur in the wet acid process and reduce phosphogypsum waste. Sulfur gases can also be used to make fertilizers like ammonium sulfate and ammonium thiosulfate. Our next step is building a Novaphos commercial-scale phosphoric acid plant in the U.S. We are moving into engineering and site selection, with construction to follow. Novaphos has attracted the interest of a number of strategic partners, fertilizer producers and distributors, as well as engineering and other service providers. These partnerships will be an important driver for Novaphos's growth. Novaphos has a large portfolio of intellectual property to protect its proprietary processes. This includes significant patent awards in multiple jurisdictions and across multiple patent families. Novaphos stacks up well against the competition, both for phosphoric acid and other products like J-ROCs and sulfur products. Our advantages include sustainability, flexibility, and economics. All this means that Novaphos can deliver a higher margin business model for the phosphate industry, which has been stuck using an old, unsustainable, and low-return technology for decades. The Novaphos team comprises seasoned executives and engineers. Novaphos is the future of phosphate production. Thank you.